What's up, guys? This is Vicki, and you are watching Courtroom Clapbacks. Today, we're headed to Beaumont, Texas, into Judge John Stevens' courtroom to watch as a defendant fires his attorney and insists that Judge Stevens give him up to 30 years instead of the no-jail probation deal he's being offered. This case goes farther and farther off the rails as it goes along. Hey, let me know what you guys think. Drop your comments. I'll read every one of them and I'll react to them at the end. Hey, by liking and subscribing my video and commenting, you'll tell YouTube algorithm that this channel has value. And thanks so much in advance for doing that, guys. Appreciate it. Now let's head into the courtroom and watch this drama unfold. Court is in session.
All right. It looks like he's going to be pleading guilty to two. One will be dismissed. Is that the plan?
That is, Judge.
The one to be dismissed will be
194.
194. Okay. He pleads to 192, 193. Joshua, is that you? Please go in front of that lady first. She's going to swear you in and
Lift your right hand.
are you Joshua Gross?
Yes.
Am I pronouncing that correctly, Sir Gross?
Yes.
You were here with Mr. West, your attorney.
Sir, I love Mr. West. Haven't talked to him in 3
Yeah.
months since I've been here.
Okay.
But it's fine. You know. I finally have, though. I have within these 3 months. I have talked to him.
Okay.
So glad to talk to him. To see what my choices are.
Okay. Do you understand you're going to be entering some pleas of guilty?
Yes.
2 pleas of guilty in some cases that have been charged. A third case that you are indicted for will be dismissed. Is that your understanding of the plan today?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does the defendant, who's here with Mr. West, his attorney, and the state's attorney, does the defendant waive a formal reading of the indictments and the arraignments here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, Your Honor, we can.
First of all, in 26 CR 192, Joshua, this indictment states that on or about January 18th, 2026, just a few months ago, in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the 3rd-degree felony of harassment of a public servant, which states that with the intent to assault, harass, or alarm this person you know to be a public servant, namely a Baptist hospital nurse.
Yeah.
You apparently, let's spit at the lady.
Spit on him, sir.
Spit on him. Jalen.
Yes, sir.
How do you spell that?
That's correct spelling, Judge. I confirmed it.
BJAYLINJA.
No, it's
The spelling in the indictment
It's-
is correct,
the
Judge.
spelling is
sir.
correct.
Yes, sir.
It's phonetically.
I've talked to that individual.
It's-
They've approved
It's
this
misspelled
agreement.
in the probable cause affidavit. They had the L before the Y. Jalyet is the way it phonetically looks, but it's Jalen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The nurse, who are there to help you, and you can't be harassing them. This is a 3rd-degree felony, which carries with it no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. It's serious. You understand? 26 CR 193 is another case that you've been charged with on or about January 18th, 2026 in Jefferson County, Texas. This alleges assault on a public servant where you intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly caused bodily injury to a Jefferson County corrections officer by striking that person in the face with your hands. Do you understand what you're charged with there?
Yes, sir.
This is also a third degree felony, which carries with it no less than no more than 10 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can be assessed. Do you understand what you're charged with in these two cases?
Yes, sir.
There's a third case that you've been charged with, 26 CR 194, assault on a public servant, which is to be dismissed as part of this agreement to plead guilty on two cases. Is that your understanding?
Sir.
In each of these two cases that are 192 and 193 that you're indicted for, that you were going to be pleading guilty to, these are third degree felonies. Each of them, if convicted, you face a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
In each case,
Yes, sir.
agreements have been reached where you would be pleading guilty and placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation in each case for 10 years. A third case will be dismissed, 194. Is that your understanding of the plan?
Yes, sir.
If I follow these agreements, you have no right of appeal of your cases. Do you understand?
Can I do it right now and have it done?
What do you say?
Can I go back on my deal and just have me sentenced to take the sign off for the time to go to prison?
Do you want to go to prison instead of probation?
Yes, because I cannot do probation. I have no home, I have no help, I have no income, no source of help or outreach. I just have to keep going to prison. I'd like to sign off right now to go to prison. No, that's under my own compass.
Have you ever been convicted of a felony before? Have you ever been convicted of a crime before?
Yes, I have.
Of a felony?
No, sir.
All right. You don't want a felony conviction if you can avoid it.
I'd like to.
It closes all kinds of doors of opportunities and you're not able, you lose rights, constitutional rights, like you're unable to vote, hold public office. There are all kinds of things that placing you on probation, a deferred or unadjudicated probation, means that as long as you do well, your record stays clear. It's not a conviction of any of this.
Sir.
Most of these terms and conditions of probation are the same terms and conditions of probation I have to follow.
Yes, sir.
Like don't commit a crime is the first one. I got to follow that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Pay your bills. Be responsible. Don't harm others.
Completely understand, Your Honor. Pardon my interruption, Your Honor. I understand before extent of what I'm saying, and I would like to revoke my right to
Okay.
to do what I'm talking about. I would like to go into to go ahead and sign for my prison time.
Well, you're looking at up to standby. And these are all 30 felonies. You're looking at up to 30 years in prison on all of this.
Yes, sir. I understand. I have no.
Well, I can tell you, I've done this. I've been in criminal law for a long time.
No one's ever wanted to do this or broken.
Yeah, I think people from time to time say it, but after they speak to their lawyer a little more, they understand that it's not a wise choice. That's what I'm going to do is if that's what you want to do, let's take a couple of days here and let him talk to you. You ask him all the questions about what else.
We did on the law book for an interruption. I wish to fire my lawyer right now.
And do what?
And stand on my own counsel and ask to sign to go to be tried.
Have you ever done such a thing before?
Yes, sir. In juvenile court.
Oh, well, this isn't juvenile court. This is the big leagues. You're looking at 30 years in prison.
I don't want my lawyer anymore. I'd like to sign for him.
And who's going to represent you?
My son.
You think you're competent to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
Why do you say that? How far did you go in school?
High school.
How far did you go in high school?
All the way through high school.
You graduated from high school?
Yes, sir.
Where?
finished my 11th and 12th grade in all different places. So
Yeah. All right. You know, there's an old saying that's a very famous saying that is a wise one. A person who represents themselves has a fool for a client. And there's some good reasons. Some people, a few who are lawyers, who have legal experience may do well. But you're looking at 30 years in prison.
so
And here, these are 10 years together. You do well. It ends in 3 1/3 years, a third. I can shorten it to 1/3 if you do well. 3 1/3 years.
Part of my interruption, Your Honor, there's no way that I'm going to be able to escape and maintain and even make my probation office appointment to be able to.
Why?
The fact I have no transportation, I have no.
Well, that we accommodate people who have problems like that.
I would
Some
not-
people have,
I would
some
not
people
wish-
are homeless
I would not
and
wish to be
we
in the
work
ward.
with you.
I do not wish to be in the ward.
Sir,
I do not wish to be in the ward. No.
I'm sorry.
I do not wish to be in the.
Doesn't want to be in the free world. He wants to go to the prison, Judge.
All right. Well, that's one way to think, and you're entitled to your own ideas, but you can understand only a few people think that out of 7 billion people on the planet.
One for those 1% that.
It's not a 1%. It's less than that.
One of those,
But if you want to represent yourself, that's fine. You've got to do that intelligently with reflection. And Mr. West is going to continue to help you if necessary. You don't have to get advice from him, but he's going to be with you because everyone who represents themselves in 20 years has failed miserably. They don't do well. And they end up being, if they follow through with it, most people change their minds realizing after they reflect that this is an unwise choice. And you're entitled to make bad choices, but you ought to make good choices. And this plan is fashioned to keep your record clean. You don't have a felony conviction yet, do you? No,
No, he has
not yet.
arrest, but no felony
All right.
convictions.
You don't want felony. It just, you lose innumerable opportunities, and all probation, and our probation office has a 93% success rate with probationers. 93%. We brag about that, and they move on with their life, and on deferred, they don't get found guilty. They move on, and they are the best they can be. If you think you're destined to fail, that's a really negative way to think, but you ought to be optimistic. I think that's the natural thing.
Just not.
Well, where's your family located? Do you know?
Mostly all dead.
They're all dead? Well, you've got siblings, don't you?
My brother's dead to me.
He's dead to you. Oh, okay. But he's still alive. You just don't have any contact with him. All right.
I just don't.
Okay. Well, what's going to happen is now this is going to,
My father.
but it sounds like you've got some bad fortune, but we all do from time to time, bad times, good times.
Dad wasn't around. Part of my introduction on Dad wasn't around. He was in prison in Dallas, Texas.
Where is he now? You don't know?
Never knew him. I know his name. His name Wild Bill. Never got to spend no time with him.
It sounds like a bad role model for you, but you know,
Wild Bill, like Billy the Kid.
you're smart enough to know. Well, you've seen people make mistakes like your dad, right? You don't want to make the same mistakes.
I don't really know what he's done in life. I know he's
I know,
in,
but
neighborhoods where
don't you?
shootouts, drugs,
What we
things like that.
fashioned, Joshua, is what's been fashioned between the lawyers is an opportunity for you to walk out of here in 24 hours as a free man
I don't know.
and make a life, make a family and be a good role model.
I have a son. I have 2 sons.
You have 2 sons? Well,
I have many wives.
aren't the sons needing a father? Not in prison.
They're taken care of. They know who I am.
Where's the role modeling?
They going on 9.
That's what a parent does. I've been a parent for 40 years.
Their moms are there and their uncles and their
They need a
grandfathers are
dad.
there and their grandmothers.
They need a dad.
No, that's
Well, not one that elected to go to prison rather than a chance to be a free person to handle responsibilities as a father and a loving family member and to set good examples. This is your chance to do that, right?
Pardon me, Your Honor. Pardon my interruption, Your Honor.
Sir?
Pardon my interruption, Your Honor. My 8-year-old son going on 9 and my 17-year-old son going on 18. They both know I'm in here, and
He's 25, Judge.
Who is?
This man.
they both know that I'm in here.
Wait, how old is your oldest child?
17 going on 18 years old.
How could that be? You're 25 years of age. Did you have him when you were 8?
Younger than that, Your Honor.
Huh?
Younger than that, Your Honor, and then that would be trying to prove about physics and chemistry and biology. If you want to get that into anatomy,
May I suggest an evaluation, Judge?
I think I've heard enough here.
Yes, sir.
it's fine. Your Honor. Good day, Your Honor.
All right,
Good
John,
time for me to be respectful.
We reset.
we need a competency
Yeah,
evaluation.
John, me and Mr. Ham have already talked about that one.
Okay. Your answer-
We have some issues.
This is all collapsing on you because you're 25 and you're claiming your children are 17 and 18, which is naturally
17
possible.
going on 18. Pardon me, Your Honor. Pardon my interruption. Have
And-
a good day.
And your answers are really incoherent. What we're going to do is get a doctor to come in and talk to you and evaluate you.
And
That's what we're going to do. That's the orders of the court.
November,
Dr. Edward Kahn will be
my
ordered to
109.
review the defendant for competency.
That's something that's going around.
I think that's the right thing to do, especially we're going to
22,000.
Okay. Time out. Okay. We're going to try to help you here. Okay. Joshua, good luck.
And there you have it, guys. How do you think Judge Stevens handled this case? Like when Joshua said, I don't want the probation plea deal. Go ahead and give me 30 years. I think Judge Stevens knew he was dealing with someone who wasn't really thinking clearly. And it became more and more apparent as the case went on. But I appreciated how Judge Stevens took the time to try to give Joshua some fatherly advice. He said, you don't want a felony, Joshua. It would close so many doors for you. And Joshua talked about the dark days he had and the struggles he's had. And Judge Stevens said, yes, you've had dark days and you've had struggles, but we all have. We've all had dark days and struggles in our lives. But you'll get through it. We get through it. And then Joshua, when he started talking about having kids at the beginning, Judge Stevens said, your kids need a father, not someone who's in prison. And then about that time, Joshua said one of his sons is 17 going on 18. I think that's when common sense made an exit stage left, and Judge Stephen knew something was wrong. That would have made Joshua 8 years old when he had his child. So Judge Stevens realized he was dealing definitely with some mental health issues in this case. And this was such a sad case, but hopefully Judge Stevens is connecting Joshua to someone he can talk to, a doctor, someone who can help him, maybe put him on medication. You know, when you break an arm, no one thinks twice about putting a cast on it. You do what you have to do to help something that is broken get healed. And sometimes it is the mind that is broken, and sometimes it takes medication and prayer. Let me know what you guys think. Did Judge Stevens get it right this time? I love Judge Stevens' heart. Drop your comments below. And hey, for more real courtroom moments and commentary like this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And I will see you guys soon. And until then, court is adjourned.